What's good, Sixer Nation? It's DFJ Hoops here, back again with another video. If y'all haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's DFJ Hoops. Let's get right into this. So, if you've been a Sixer fan these last few seasons, it's no secret that heading into every season, one of the biggest priorities for the Philadelphia 76ers is to preserve Joel Embiid for the long term throughout the course of the regular season and heading into the playoffs. Now, Joel Embiid is not just the heart of the Philadelphia 76ers. He's your ultimate game changer, but with the history of injuries, keeping him healthy for the playoffs is critical to the Sixers championship aspirations. Now, in this episode, we'll dive into effective strategies the Sixers can implement to preserve Embiid's health throughout the grueling regular season, ensuring he's at peak performance when it matters the most. So, number one on my list is load management, right? I think the Sixers need to plan for regular rest days during the regular season, especially during back to back games. This will help preserve his energy and reduce the risk of injuries. Another thing that the Sixers need to implement is minutes restrictions. The Sixers have to have minute limits in less critical games to ensure that Joel Embiid is not overexerting himself, especially during the early parts of the regular season. Now, this is very, very important because you don't want to see Joel Embiid against teams that are against teams or in games that are less critical. You don't want to see him playing 35, 36, or 37 minutes a night. Now, we did see this last season against teams like the Washington Wizards, where he played extended minutes trying to get his points, dropping 50-point games, and games where the Sixers got blown out, but he was still in the game because he wanted to keep his 30-point double streak alive. Now, the Sixers heading into this season, they can afford to have that happen because the Sixers have championship aspirations and they can't really take any chances messing that up by having Embiid playing games to overexert himself, which could lead to possible injuries. Now, the second thing on my list here is a balanced offensive strategy, right? Now, I think other players should be encouraged to take on more scoring responsibility, which can significantly lessen the burden on Joel Embiid. This could involve running more plays for other players to develop a more balanced offensive system. Now, I think this Sixer team, as currently constructed, they can have 4 or 5 guys averaging double figures in the regular season, right? So, in order for this to happen, Embiid will have to, sacrifice a few offensive load in order to have guys average double figures. Have guys like a Caleb Martin average double figures, or have guys coming off the bench like Reggie Jackson or maybe even Eric Gordon averaging double figures, because this Sixer team has the capabilities of having 4 or 5 guys averaging double figures, right? So Maxey and Paul George, they're going to average double digits in points, right? And Embiid is also going to average double digits in points, but you don't want him averaging 30 points per game. You want to see him right around 25, 24 points, and then spread the scoring load around. Now, the third thing on my list here is injury prevention programs. Now, this is something that should be in every player's strength and conditioning program, right? The Sixers need to ensure that Embiid has access to top tier physiotherapy and recovery programs. This may include regular massages, cryotherapy, and other recovery modalities. Another thing that is very, very underrated that I think Embiid and the entire team needs to focus on is nutrition. I think Joel Embiid needs to work with the team's nutritionist to optimize his diet, which can enhance recovery and overall health and well-being. So, with this being said, eating a cheeseburger 30 minutes before the game starts, that's not going to work. Or having a cheesesteak 45 minutes before the game start, that's not going to work out if you really want to stay healthy throughout the course of the regular season. Now, the last thing on my list here, which is also underrated, but I think people need to focus on as well, is communication. I think there has to be constant communication between Embiid and the coaching staff, as well as the strength and conditioning team and the medical staff. This will ensure that everyone's on the same page regarding his physical health and any necessary adjustments. Another thing that should be encouraged is feedback mechanism, especially on the part of Joel Embiid. I think Embiid needs to provide constant feedback about how he's feeling, how his body's feeling, which can guide decisions on how his playing time should look like and what his workload should look like. Now, yeah, this is how I think the Sixers can preserve Joel Embiid for next season and make sure that he's healthy throughout the regular season and throughout the playoffs. And I believe by implementing these strategies, I think the Sixers can better manage Joel Embiid's workload and maximize his effectiveness throughout the course of the regular season and then heading into the playoffs. Now, it's no secret, we all know that the goal is to keep him healthy and fresh, which is very vital for the team's success. And if this team is going to be successful, Joel Embiid has to be healthy. And not just Joel Embiid, but everybody else on this team has to be healthy. But I'm focusing on Joel Embiid today because Joel Embiid is the best player on this team and he has a history of injuries. So if the Sixers can really get this right, if they can really manage him throughout the course of the regular season, um, if they can follow what I suggested in this video, I think the Sixers can be they can be very successful heading into the playoffs. And we all know what it may look like with a healthy Joel Embiid in the postseason. So these are my thoughts. For whatever you guys think, leave any comments right down below. It's DFJ Hoops. You can follow me on Instagram at DFJ Hoops, and I'm also on Newsbreak. You can follow me on Newsbreak as well at DFJ Hoops. Until next time, peace.